April 8th, 2021, new Collab Smash was just announced. Born of Osiris. So, this will be a fun one. We're communicating with the team right now. I volunteered for vocals as of now. I've also submitted some lyrics I've had for a previous song that didn't end up working out. So hopefully I'll be able to pull for that and kind of cut down on the writing time. But yeah, other than that, I'm excited for it.
What I've done here is basically downloaded a bunch of Guitar Pro tabs of some Born of Osiris songs, listened through to them and made notes on the structure and the style of the riffs in kind of like shorthand that I would understand. I then went through that and looked for a pattern to see what are the recurring ideas and sound scapes that Born of Osiris uses, as far as the guitar parts go at least. And then what I did is went through and found my favourite parts from each of those songs. And as you can see here, I've basically cut the rest of the song out and saved just the part that I wanted to keep. So that a part that to me sounds like a verse, a part that to me that sounds like a pre-chorus, a part to me that sounds like a chorus, and a part that sounds like a post-chorus, and a part that sounds like a bridge. So if I show you what that looks like, we'll come back to the intro in a second. The intro / verse is from Divergency. Pre-chorus, which I didn't end up using, so we won't bother with that. Under the Gun gave us a really cool chorus. What I essentially did with that was just take the rhythm of it and just change the chord sequence so that it fit the key of the song. Post-chorus, I didn't actually end up going with anything like that. I had some ideas, but it didn't end up working, so I didn't end up using that one. Bridge, this is Under the Gun. It's got sort of keys and sort of clean guitars part, which I thought would sound really cool with a guitar solo over it. Intro was actually an old tab of mine, which was just basically some orchestral pieces, playing a sort of... It was originally called Death from Above because it had this sort of ominous doom kind of sound to it that I kind of imagined being like an airship coming after someone. If we go to this track, that the tab I made, essentially I grabbed the orchestral parts that I wrote on the other tab, put those in, and then we've got some guitar chugs following along the same note sequence in a style that's reminiscent of Divergency. After that, we've got a chuggy, gappy riff with a little slidey part in and some harmonics. Again, that goes kind of along with the ideas put in place by Divergency. As I said, I had a pre-chorus in here, but it just wasn't working, so I skipped that. I took it out and just basically go straight from the verse into the chorus with this sort of leady line here, which was found in one of my very old tabs. And then we've got this chuggy part, which again is similar to Under the Gun. Very similar because it's the same rhythm, just different chords. And then after that, it goes back to the start of the verse. But the second time round, it plays the chorus again. And then we've got this bridge part where there's a sustained chord. And under the sustained chord, we have this piano part, which I found from a very old tab of mine as well. So the idea being that we've got pieces in here which are very inspired by the brief material.
Good evening, morning.
What's happening?
Hi, Tony.
Good morning.
Another day.
To you, that is.
Oh, it's midnight over here, so don't know if it's technically morning.
Yeah,
Well,
It's still 11 p.m., so it's still night here.
And about 9 o'clock here. I just wanted to say thank you to at least Luke and Toby and whomever does join to just appreciate letting me come on board and add some of my expertise to the table and also just gain some new perspective from you guys too.
Yeah,
We're happy to have you on.
Yeah, happy to have you.
I've personally learned a lot being in this group. and collaborating. So hopefully you will too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kiko's been trying to get you in here for ages. So
I know. I'm fully
I told him.
aware.
I told him. I was like,
All right, Toby, really quick. I'm being lazy and not looking at the chat. What was that Born of Osiris tune that you wanted me to listen to?
Under the Gun.
Under the Gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, there's a lot of that kind of
What record is
clean-ish.
What record is that off of?
Let's look it up.
Yeah, the Simulation is the album.
Simulation. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of a bit nervous about attempting those
then-
vocals myself, but then once you come in, I was like, "Oh, that's handled. It's fine." Cool. So has everyone listened to the track I sent over?
Tony won't. Well, actually, no. Tony listened to it through my end, so I don't know
Right.
if he'll remember it. But
Hold
Since
on. Can
Guitar
you
Pro is-
relink?
it's a Guitar Pro project, so
Oh, that thing. Yeah, you were playing a bit of it when I was tracking vocals.
yeah, that was the one you said you felt like you were listening to Doom because that was like the really artificial
I
sound.
remember.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah,
So
but
is
yes,
that-
I
is
have
that
listened
the
to it.
template then for our tune?
Like,
Okay.
Basically a skeleton of shall I
Can
put it
you
on?
can you send it really quick in chat? Like
Yeah, well,
link it
what I
one
was,
more
what I was
time?
going to do is just play the audio through Zoom.
let's do it.
Yeah, please go for it,
Can you guys see that?
Nope.
Yep. Tony.
Yeah, I can see it.
Of course, Tony.
Oh, I just
But I'll be-
wow.
Oh,
But I'll be able to hear it, so go
I
for
was
it.
literally just about to say it, except Tony. I don't know what the volume's
Alright.
going to be like on this, so
All right.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
there it is. And I actually already did some lyrics for this part of the verse. I'll put it in the group chat, a short video of it.
Do you have lyrics written for the chorus?
Not the chorus yet, no.
All right. Yeah, just send me your lyrics for the verses, and then I'll just go off of that.
Yeah.
For the chorus.
Those kind of piano parts, are those meant to be like more of a lead guitar voice? Or are those going to be more of the synth voice? No, I'm really liking the melodies in this one.
that needs a better transition. I'm going to imagine a guitar solo on this bit.
You gonna do a solo?
I'm going to get Charlie to do a solo on this bit.
Nice.
There you go.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Very good.
Like I said, I mean, all in all, it's feeling really tight.
Oh, dude, this one gets me stoked, man.
My plan is I'm going to track my guitars next Saturday. So we'll just
Okay.
basically, if there's any changes that anyone wants to make, like transitions and stuff, then basically they need to happen before then.
Yeah. I assume this month it's probably just going to be you, Toby, providing tones for the guitars.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we have no
I'll-
shortage of great
Yeah.
sims between all of us, but I
I'll
feel
do
like
my-
also as such,
I'll do my usual thing with the split guitars like Putney does. And so
Nice.
then when Ruben comes to mix, he can either go with my tones or he's got the DIs there to do his own tones.
yeah, I'm down with that.
Do the
I mean,
option.
we have no shortage of tones, but we all know we're going with Gojira.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Well, the thing too is like, I mean, let's be honest.
Man.
Everyone in the group has kind of strengths. I know synths better than anyone in the group. Toby is definitely the guitar tone dude. I mean, how many times have you been on the tone throne polls since they
Can't
started
remember.
those?
I've been on tone
Yeah.
tone
Too many-
polls more than I
Too
have.
many, Toby?
Yeah, exactly. The majority of them. Yeah. I mean, Ruben is definitely our best mixer right now.
I just finished importing everything into the DAW. I have all my markers and lyrics set out. And now what I'm going to do is run a test to see what level my vocals are coming in at compared to the backing track. And hopefully avoid some rebalancing whenever my tracks go to the mixer. So let's see what we're at. Oh God, whatever there is on behind its eyes. Alright, then we'll listen to it back and see how well it blends in. Not bad. I'm actually going to bring the instrumental up a little bit. Yeah, that sounds pretty even to me. So that's the level I'll be tracking at. And let's get to work.
I've got two screens running. The left one has got Logic on it, which you can see here. The right one has got the Guitar Pro open, so I can see quite easily what it is I need to be playing. The way I've got things routed, I actually have software monitoring turned off in Logic, and I have the buffer up to the biggest size, so there's no issues with latency or running of CPU overloads or anything like that. Now the reason why I don't have any latency is because I'm actually using the standalone neural DSP Gojira with a ridiculously small, pretty much 32 samples, so it's 0.7 milliseconds, so it's barely noticeable. It's not noticeable latency, but no latency and no CPU overloads in Logic itself. So what I'll do now is create a new track with input 7, which is my DI box, and I will set up loop recording and basically record this over and over again and then comp it. Alright, I'm all set to track the guitars now. Let me just run through what I've got here. Alright, so I've actually got a patch bay down here with all my pedals and amps connected to. So the guitar is plugged in here, which goes into a DI box behind the rack, which goes into my Focusrite here. And now the way that I'm running things on the computer, with regards to the guitar itself, I'm using an LTD EX50 Explorer. I've got the Ernie Ball cloth trick on here, so as not to get any sympathetic ringing from the other strings. We're rocking EMG 81 and 85. And the strings on here are NYXL 1156 military green. No God would ever dare reside behind its eyes. No God would ever dare reside behind its eyes.
Yes. Always a problem with me doing vocals. I never get the yeses quite on track. Just put that down to -9. So right now I'm recording mains and doubles, and I just have to make sure they're accurate enough to thicken up the vocal picture. And then to check, I always listen in solo, just make sure they're not too funky from each other. No God would ever dare reside behind its eyes. Yeah, and then I'll have to play with the yeses there. Eyes. Yeah. But then again, these are just scratches. This will not be the final vocal. I mean, as you can hear the music in the background of the vocal take. Oh, let me get that. Like, the music's there. There's no way I would make that a final vocal. But as far as a proof of concepts that I could send to the guys, whether I'm stuck or just need to be grounded, so to speak, this would be a good way to do it. So, in the original vocals, the first lyric is "No God behind its eyes," as it's calling out my name. But with this being a faster tempo than that other song, I'm having to kind of rearrange the lyrics and the phrasing. So right now I have "No God would ever dare reside behind its eyes." So I'm kind of expanding a little more on that. And it's working out pretty well. All
right, so I'm going to use the loop recording function now. So that was with a Dunlop Tortex 1mm bass triangle. I'm now going to do the same again, but this time I'm going to use a Jeff Loomis 1.5 Ultex, which I prefer on the 8th notes. I prefer the thinner one on the gallopy kind of notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comp between the hits with a thicker plectrum on the 8th notes and the gallops on the thinner plectrum. Alright, so what we can do is basically zoom in, and you can see, if you look down here at the thinner plectrum, those hits are a lot softer than the ones with the thicker plectrum. So what I would do is something along the lines of this. So if I just put on Gojira, so the next task will be to clean those up and actually listen through to the different takes, then also duplicate it so we've got one on each side as well, and then fill out the rest of the song.
Oh, never share my face, so exists as person's teeth. Yeah, got the lyrics wrong. When existence, not so. Oh, never share my face when existence person's teeth. Then put that in the double. Oh, never share my face when existence person's teeth. Alright, then hopefully those line up. Oh, never share my face when existence person's teeth. Alright, make sure they're good individually. Just take out my breathing beforehand. Oh, never share my face when existence person's teeth. I should mute the next ones, I'm not there yet. And then you hear part of the keyboard in there. So let's fade that out. So we just get teeth. There, that one sounds the most natural. I'll never share my face when existence bares its teeth. Oh, never share my face when obsessed with purposes. Then with the Guitar Pro. I'll never share my face when obsessed with purposes. Cool, and then on to the next one. Seething discontents remaining underneath. All right. Okay. Silent discontents remaining underneath. I don't like that one. Silent. What's up with me? Silent discontents remaining underneath. Silent discontents remaining underneath. Then I hope that those are good. Not that. Silent discontents remaining underneath. Yay, 2 keeper takes in a row. It's a lot easier to do that than to edit all this stuff together. That might actually be it. So a way to just blend that in, I know there is. Let me just put an EQ on it because it might not even matter if we're just gonna low pass it. Ah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, this is one of the benefits of not only being the artist but having mix experience also, is I know that, well, we're gonna low pass these vocals so other things can fit. So by putting, a high pass. So by putting a high pass in these vocals, that just saved me from trying to make these work because we're gonna be dumping all those frequencies anyway. And it sounds fine. All right, this will be the very last vocal take necessary for the song. With cataplasmic disposition trapped within the void. Sweet. And the reason for that one is similar to why I was layering together 3 high register vocals. I'm now layering 3 lower ones to fit with this final note, help make it stand out more. Or is it? Alright. And then have to make sure that blends with everything else. With cataclysmic disposition trapped within the void. Do I have a breath at the end of that? Yeah. It's funny when you hear it on its own. Trapped within the void. Yeah, that definitely adds to the texture. It's subtle, but it's there.